Vaccinations are our foundational layer of protection for all of us, children to our seniors, everyone. We still are strong advocates for vaccinations for children, and they've been proven safe and effective. So many people around the world have gotten vaccines. Up to date on your vaccination for COVID means that you've received both your doses of your mRNA vaccine for children, which is what they can have, which is generally spaced anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks, depending on Pfizer or Moderna. That information, of course, you'll have when you receive your first dose or the child receives their first dose. And then for those who are eligible for the booster, getting that booster when the time comes around. You talk to them ahead of time leading up. You don't just, spring on them, hey, guess where we're going today? It's funny because as parents, we tend to do just that when it comes to something fun about to happen, so that if plans fall through, our children aren't disappointed. We don't want to do that with vaccinations. We want to prepare them ahead of time so they can ask questions. We can talk about why mom, dad, and whatever caregiver has chosen to have their child vaccinated, why it's important to them. We certainly, if the parents have been vaccinated and maybe extended family, grandma, grandpa, older brothers and sisters, we can talk about the fact that, hey, we've all done it. We're doing it to protect ourselves and protect each other. So now it's your turn, and we're really excited about that. We're so happy that you get to have the vaccine now, so you can be as protected as we are. Just add some enthusiasm in there for, wow, we've been waiting for this. This is great. And be available to answer any questions your child has, and be prepared to sometimes say, you know what, that's a great question. I don't know the answer to that, but let's ask Dr. The pediatrician. Let's ask your doctor about that. I'm sure he or she will know. Or if you don't have a primary care physician for your child, say, hey, let's look online and see if we can find the answer to that, and then go to a trusted source. Always, I would recommend CDC, certainly VDH, and look for some answers there together. Make it something you work on as a family. Just make the child feel involved in the process. I am kind of old school with my kids. If there's something that's not so pleasant for them, there's usually a treat afterwards. So you can, offer, hey, we'll go to your favorite spot for lunch, or go get some ice cream or whatever. And that's something I would focus on. But again, that's me as a parent. If your child has layers on, to keep warm, just make sure that the bottom layer, if it can't be a t-shirt, which is easy obviously to pull up for a vaccination, that if it's a long sleeve shirt, that it's nice and loose and can still be pulled up easily. Or a sweater. Sweaters are good because they kind of stretch and come up. But yeah, just something easy and accessible, so there's not more kind of drama added to the whole experience of, oh, we've got to get this off, and oh, this is too tight, and stop squirming, and things like that. The clinicians who provide the vaccines, who actually give them, especially for children, are excellent with helping them to feel calm, maybe providing some kind of distraction. So you can definitely count on them as well. Therapeutics are definitely a conversation for parents to have with their child's doctor, pediatrician, primary care provider. However, I want everyone to know that therapeutics are now available for newborns and up. There used to be, I believe it might have been 12 and up. I know initially it was probably 18 and up, but that age has gone down to everybody, the minute you're born and up, can receive treatment if the provider, if your professional medical provider finds that you're eligible, that it's necessary. And I know adults who have received like monoclonal antibodies and have recovered very quickly from COVID and have felt, much better pretty soon afterwards. It's an easy process. Again, I think it's important. Parents have to talk to their pediatricians. Any treatments for COVID are by prescription only. So that would have to come from a doctor, or we've had people who have gone into the emergency rooms, and of course those are physicians there, so they authorize that treatment in the emergency room, or an urgent care center. Some urgent care centers do also offer treatments. And of course, there's doctors there, so you wouldn't have to have a prescription from outside. But I just wanted parents to know that for themselves and all of their children, no matter what the age, there are some treatment options available. So that is something that they should definitely talk to their doctors about, even as a proactive conversation. Hey, what happens if little Amy gets COVID? What treatments might be available for her? And what's the window of opportunity that we have to get her those treatments? So I would recommend having that conversation, again, proactively. Our case numbers, our hospitalizations are dropping dramatically. And it's really, really amazing to see. However, we are still in a high transmission rate within the whole health district, and all of our localities as of this morning are still in high transmission rate. If you are in an area that has substantial or high transmission, substantial and high means that if you're indoors in a public space, you really should be wearing a mask no matter where you are in your vaccination status, even completely up to date. And we know for children under 5, that wouldn't apply. So any child age 2 and older should be wearing a mask in a public space, at this time with our transmission level. So this is a recommendation. We know that there are mandates that were in schools that will not be in place as of March 1st. So very personal decisions for some parents to make. But when we're out in public, it's just the best thing to do for now. Once we get down past, below that substantial rate, then it's safer to not wear a mask in a public space. But of course, if you feel more comfortable having your child wear a mask in public, that's completely fine too. We definitely want to take away any stigma that might come when people are mostly maskless and there doesn't seem to be as much of a concern in transmission in the communities. You do what you feel is best for your family and for yourself.